My name's Kenny. This is my Mercedes 300 TE. It's a W124 model, or to be more precise, it's actually the S124 because it's the estate. One of the reasons I bought this Mercedes was because they make fantastic tow cars, and I use them to tow my two historic race cars. And one of the race cars is Scottish. It was built in Edinburgh in 1970. It's the Fisher Spider. It's quite a well-known car. It had a lot of success racing at Ingliston and elsewhere. The other car is a little single-seater from the early 1950s called the SBS. It's nearly finished its restoration, and I hope to be able to drive it on the track this year. And again, it'll be getting towed in the trailer behind this car. I also have a little MV Agusta 125 motorcycle, which is 1957. That's been refurbished. It's not been restored because it still wears its original paint, and I like that. I like to keep it that way. So it's mechanically it's A1, but you know, the paintwork looks a bit scruffy, but I don't want to restore it. Somebody else, the next owner, can restore it if they want to do that. I do all my own maintenance on my cars. I always have done. And this car is really the subject of a rolling restoration, if that's the right word, a rolling refurbishment perhaps. I'm starting at the front and working the way back. The first year I got it, I rebuilt the fuel injection system, which made a big difference to the car and improved the fuel consumption no end, plus the drivability. I rebuilt the front suspension completely. It's got new arms and new bushes, new springs and shocks, nice Bilstein shock absorbers as well. I'm working my way back. I'm going to be doing the rear suspension this summer, and it's all the bushes are all the original 30-year-old ones. Are rock hard. They're going to be all replaced with new bushes, and I'll get new shocks and springs at the back as well. The only other thing I would like to do to it is convert it to a manual gearbox, because I've never been fond of automatics, but nearly all these big Mercedes are automatics. But I might think about it. If I decide to keep it much longer, you can fit a modern Mercedes manual gearbox in it with conversion kits, and I would like that. So if I keep the car a lot longer, I'll convert it to manual, and that should improve the performance as well. It's a 1991, and it's done 310,000 miles, and it still drives not quite like a new car, but it still drives really well for that. It's the 3 litre petrol, 188 brake horsepower, so it's surprisingly fast for a big car, and it tows my trailer with ease, and the trailer's 1,200 kilograms, and you'd hardly know it was linked to the back of the car. I've owned it for 3 years. I bought it from a local chap. It's got full service history, which is unusual for any 30-year-old car, and the service history is probably about 2 inches thick. But I've got it from new, and it usually means if you buy a car with full service history, you're buying something that's been looked after, and this car's definitely been looked after. It's quite a good car. I've enjoyed it. I don't normally keep cars for 3 years, but I've got this one. It's the last in a long line of classic cars. I've owned classic cars for getting on for 35 years. I've had well over 20 of them. This is probably the best driving, the most practical classic car I've ever owned. It's huge, and it does everything I need it to do, and it's comfortable, and it loves motorways. It sails along motorways. It really likes that. It's not very good. It's not a sports car. It's not very good on winding country lanes, but it loves motorways, and it's a great thing to drive. It's, as I say, it's done 310,000 miles, but not all of that is on the same engine. It had a Mercedes replacement engine at 160,000 miles, and the clock was zeroed at that point. So, but it has done 310,000. So the Mercedes engine cost £6,500 at the dealer. I've got the receipt for it, and that was in the late 1990s. It's a lot of money. It's got black leather interior, which is relatively rare in this model. It's electric seats, and it's got electric memory seats. Everything's power. It's power everything, the mirrors, the sunroof, and it all works. It's only ever let me down once in the 3 years, and that was because I let it run out of petrol. Left me stranded at the side of the road, but that was my fault. Apart from that, and I shouldn't really say that, it's been very reliable.